Mr. Dinesh, thank you very much for calling News9 and sharing your views. In fact, you do have a point that schools must focus on academics, but like they say, there's a saying that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So schools must focus, apart from academics, on all-round development of an individual. That's the students over there, right? From co-curricular activity to extracurricular activities and so on and so forth. So one just can't stress only on academics, and that is why India is a big zero in the Olympics and everywhere else. So what's necessary or what's the need of the hour is basically to have measures in place. And that's what now the government has come out with strict measures where CCTV cameras have to be installed, a background check, and all personnel that can be right from teachers to security guards, so on and so forth, whoever is working in the school or employed by the school management, their background checks should be done, and the police should regularly keep a track on what's happening in the schools. Again, the need of the hour is for enhanced parent-teacher meetings, for a committee of parents also who can actually come to the school, figure out what's happening, figure out the changes. A committee of school management and parents is also the need of the hour. In fact, we have another Bangalorean from JP Nagar, Prashant.
This is Prashant here.
Yes, Prashant.
Yeah, okay. People are talking of, can I talk? Can I put my views in front?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. People are talking of a lot of, policies, CCTVs, some government policies for schools and other things. I think the basic thing that has actually harmed our society is the mass media as such, especially the advertisement and the movies. I cannot watch an advertisement, I can watch even a football game or a cricket match peacefully. The type of advertisements that are coming in. My brother is in US. He says not even one channel, 90 channels, which is they're watching in TV. Not even one channel plays an absurd advertisement. In India, can you sit and watch advertisements? What type of movies are we showing to our children? Hardly the heroines are dressed. Is this the type of culture you are building? Then people are really, they want to enjoy. I mean, they're going, reckless. The media, I mean, the type of advertisements that we are seeing, the type of movies that we are seeing, this is my personal view. I'm really totally disturbed by the environment. If you cannot, as a parent, you cannot take your child out to any mall or anything. You see people dress so horribly. In US or in the Western countries, people are not dressing like that. Maybe, yeah, there are some eccentric people, but here it has become a common. In public, they smooch, they hug, and I mean, there's no public decency. I mean, where is this culture? Who is doing all these things? I mean, people are being let free. So basically, there's a bigger issue which we have to think. The entire society is corrupted. A lot of factors. So, I mean, I think we have to give a serious look at holistically on a lot of other aspects. How do we discipline our children from the schools? Okay, from the school level, the type of dresses that school prescribes. Some of the schools, I mean, when you look at the children, high school children are almost going in their minis. I mean, is this what we want? I mean, from there it starts, from the grassroots levels, from dressing, from their behavior, the teaching them. I mean, I think there's a whole lot of things that we need to really look at.
Mr. Prashant, are you suggesting that India head back to the pre-90s era, to the 80s and the 70s?
No, it's not a question of 80s, 90s, anything. There is a decorum. There is a public manners. Now, are we teaching our children that? Moral science, where it is going? Schools, where is the moral science class? Okay, I studied moral science. I mean, my children are not studying moral science. And what school can teach moral science when schools themselves don't have any moral? When they take so much of donations. The Vibgaya school van fees is 20,000 rupees. Corporates don't charge so much. And as an outing, schools are taking them to resorts. What are you teaching in resorts? Just going there, spending some time in the swimming pool and coming back and having some noodles and bringing them back and charging 500, 700 rupees per visit? I mean, holistically, what are you trying to teach children? Are you trying to teach nature? And I mean, there are a lot of things which we can debate on, but this is my point of view. Holistically, there is a lot of corruption from the school level itself, bias, everything. You cannot. School itself is not moral. So, I don't know. I think we should take a decision that all the parents in Bangalore should stop sending their children to private schools for few weeks or months. Unless the entire community stands up, I think this is like entire system has to be revamped. And it's not going to ease it up, but this is my feeling. Because this has gone too much. Schools have a lot of problems when parents have been literally neglected and the management is on their own. Because the government schools, people cannot send, it is not up to the quality. There are a lot of issues. Because private players they have their say in everything, I think we have been taken for a ride. This is my view.
So, Mr. Prashant, when you said that all the private schools, parents should boycott private schools, what are you trying to imply? You're trying to imply that private schools should shut and people should actually go back to government schools, because you do know what's happening in government schools. India will never progress. Nothing will happen.
Correct. I'm not saying that we should stop going to private schools. What I'm saying is that everybody have to stop. We have to say, boss, you private schools, you want to take us for a ride? No, sorry. Okay, we all can unite. We all have to take a stand. 2 weeks, 1 month. No fees. We will not send our schools. Put something in place. Take some responsibility as a school management. What is this bullshit thing telling that management is not responsible? Obviously, management is responsible. That is why you are sending our children to schools, right?
Right. Right,
so
Mr. Prashant.
This is
Thank
really
you.
absurd.
Yes.
I don't, because I'm not just saying this because I know practically it may be not possible for, as a school, as a bigger school,
right,
where a
Mr.
lot
Prashant.
of people
Thank
come
you.
in and go.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your views with us. In fact, the need of the hour is not to boycott schools. The need of the hour is to see to it that corrective measures are put in place. Now, we must also be thankful to private schools, because of a lot of private schools that we have seen how India has progressed, the type of new things that happen over there. One can't just say that we have to get back to the age-old past of India, wherein one can't do this or one can't do that, because India is not that anymore. No one can control or basically stop things. This is a democratic country. All we need is steps and measures to be put in place so that there is a sort of, a balance. In fact, we have another Bangalorean from Indiranagar, Amrish.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I was actually listening to one of the person's view just now, few minutes back. So I was actually not convinced by that opinion. He was in one way right, but it was not actually completely right. So my view is currently about how to stop this thing. So maybe the government or the officials who are involved in the law making should come up with some strict laws or some strict conditions such that they can avoid these kind of issues that create some nuisance in the society.
Amrish, but the problem is we have laws. We do have laws, but it's not implemented. No one implements those laws. No one is scared.
Yeah. See, this action should be taken from both the sides, not only from the government, along with the society also.
Yes.
We also have to do the cooperation towards the government or the police officials. So it's like educating both the sides. It's not only the government, not only the society. It should be from both the sides. And also the government or the police officials should not have such kind of lenient attitude or lenient kind of behavior toward these situations. It should be very instant and it should be very strict as soon as it happens. So this is my view on it.
Right, Amrish. Thank you very much for calling us and sharing your views with us. In fact, a lot of people have now reached the Freedom Park. Let's listen to what some of them had to tell us.
Ever since I was, as far as I can think of, I've never really been okay with the way women are treated, especially in places, rural places, and even metropolitan cities. Just yesterday there was another issue in Tamil Nadu about attempted gang rape, and then a 6-year-old being raped, and it's just, see, they always blame the women one way or another. They just say that, okay, she was wearing a mini skirt, she was with, heck, a 6-year-old. She doesn't even have body parts to even look into, so even they are not spared. Let alone raping her, they kill them altogether. And I'm sorry I'm getting a little emotional, but it's just an extremely sensitive topic to me, and I just wanted to come out here and support as much as I could.
I think everyone has a right to voice their opinion. Whether it's right or wrong is for the other people to decide. But if you believe in something, you have the right to voice it out, which is why I'm here today.
Right, to stop any kind of violence against women. It's not just rape, it's not just dowry harassment, it's anything that you see on the road. I mean, how many of us have traveled in a bus without being touched? Tell me, how many of us, how many girls have been able to do that? So all this is violence against women, and this all has to stop. So that's what we mean by wearing red. Just stop.
I've basically been in Bangalore for years together. I've been brought up. And this is now surprisingly shocking to see so much of violence that's been happening around. And, violence against kids and women is not acceptable anymore. We used to live I was here in years ago, it was so safe for women. We would go out at 10 o'clock in the night without any problem at all. Now it's becoming a situation where we are scared to send our kids to school because we're not sure what's going to happen to them. So we are here just to send out a strong message that we want Bangalore back the way it was.
Today I'm here is because I want to protest against the men who are actually doing this to small children and to women. I mean, kids, they are very innocent and, they have no voice. So I think we as women have to protest for them. We have to ensure that there is safety for them. And I think the government has to stand up. It's high time that they stand up and, actually protect us. Because we need protection more than anything. Even our children need protection. And since they're innocent and they have no voice, I think it's the government only who can do something for us.